Hi, I just wanted to show off or give it a little intro to the Wolfpack Assistant for SPI's 1974 Wolfpack, the solitaire game. For the, I don't know, two people on Earth who might be interested in this. This was programmed for Twine in Sugar Cube 2, and it basically allows you to go through and play Wolfpack without referring a lot to all of the rules and especially all of those tables and all the dice rolling or chit drawing. So here's the opening screen. On the left-hand side is the Twine little interface here, and you can just click on that and make it kind of go away. I left that in there so that you could always go in and actually save where you are, and you could save and load that just as you would any sort of game, or you can just kind of give up and click restart. So I'm going to put that to the side. At the beginning, we get our four choices for the 4 months of the 1943 campaign. The imagery that's in the background is just off of the web, and so if you have an internet connection while you're playing, it'll appear, otherwise it won't. So we're on to our first phase, which is the convoy placement phase. And up top for each of the screens, you'll see the date or turn. I've just turned it into a day. It's February 1st, 1943. So far, no ships are sunk and no U-boats are sunk. The first time you play, the first time you come here, it'll give you the randomized place to put your convoys. There are no storms this time around. And a little quick listing of the airplanes that need to go to that particular air base. For that particular month. A reminder of what you're supposed to be doing here, putting your lowest ID number convoy onto the page or onto your map, and then we're on to the weather phase. Here we've got a randomized result of where you're going to be moving your storms, if there are any storms on the board, as per the charts. You're also going to have a listing here of whether or not the weather changes, whether there's going to be fog or where to place a storm. As the storms move across the board or a fog takes place, this is going to cause you to flip over the various convoys that get caught up in the bad weather. And then after you've moved all of your storms and so forth, you can go back and click on either one of these for those convoys that have been inverted to find out if they straggle. So maybe they got hit with a storm, and yes, that one would be S2, or that one would also be S2. How about none? Okay, so that's how that works. Now we're on to the air phase. There are the basic rules here about allocating aircraft, air groups as escorts. And then, of course, the really important part, I think, is the air search. So this brings us to our first interactive little use of the chart. You put the total number of air groups that can reach a hex that has some U-boats in it. Say this is going to be at long range. We've got one aircraft that's reaching a group of 6 total U-boats in a hex, and I'm going to say it's at 13 to 16 hexes, and it's probably not going to spot anything. Nope, U-boats are not spotted. But let's say that you, for some reason, you've got 4 aircraft are spotting 25 submarines at, right next to Greenland or something, which of course would be a terrible move, but maybe you're trying something. And we have an example here. They get spotted. So you want to place a spotted marker on that stack, and then the aircraft attack. And the program automatically sorts it out into groups of 6 so that you don't have to, and gives you the result. The first group of 6 is pinned, the second is pinned, the third has lost a U-boat, same with the next one, and the last group is pinned. So in other words, remove 2 of the U-boats and pin everybody in the hex. These numbers here are just sort of there for cosmetic purposes. They just look cool that you have individual submarines getting sunk. It doesn't actually mean anything. So after we've gone across and we've done all of our searches with our air groups, we're on to the naval phase where we're going to be moving the convoys. With the convoys here, we've got Again, like with the storms, automatically where they're going to be moving. If they're going to be moving, if they're a convoy that is moving eastward, then they're going to move them northeastward if they are on 2 or 3 numbered hexes, or southeastward or southwestward if they're westbound. I don't need to explain this to you. This is just a um, quick way of listing that movement. And then some rules reminders here. The big one is the section down here. The top part is the picket search, where you're going to have your submarines searching for the British convoys. And down here are for those occasional moments when a convoy that already has an escort moves into a hex with U-boats and does a search, or in the case of a CVE, right, CV escort, then it's going to be also in adjacent hexes. Let's quickly break this down. Up top here, let's say that you have a couple of U-boats in a hex, and the convoy is going to enter the hex, and there's no weather. It's an eastward moving convoy, and we click, and not surprisingly, the convoy isn't spotted. Very hard to spot anything with just one. But let's say you've got a real Wolfpack there that's out searching. Again, no weather, it's eastbound, so I'm going to click Search Convoy. There we go. So now it's been spotted, and it does have an escort. And it's been assigned one of the 2 escorts, combat strength of 2. And you immediately have to put in the number of submarines in that hex, and then those escorts will attack, and the submarines are not spotted, so you're safe there. Now, this right here is drawing essentially from a virtual cup. Remember, you've set aside in the traditional game a number of dummy escorts along with actual escorts, and then you draw from that as a convoy is spotted. You can allow the assistant to take care of that for you, and it will let you know when you've drawn a dummy or a 2. So if you'd like to have the assistant do that, you can. You can also completely ignore that, and if you like the physical aspect and the suspense of drawing whatever chit comes out, then you can do that. And just know that this means that you've spotted the convoy. Other times you're going to run into something more like whoops, I want to reset for a new search. It's going to reload the page. Okay, so let's do another search of the same. U-boats, oh, oops, I'm doing that wrong. I'm clicking the escort search. My apologies. Please ignore the past 30 seconds. Okay, we want to be up here with the search convoy. I'm going to click this, and this is what I wanted to show was the other result.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that.
Thanks, Google. That was useful. The convoy is a dummy, so you can remove the convoy and move on. Again, you can be keeping track of the chits if you want. If there is bad weather where the convoy is or in the submarine hex, you click that, and that will modify the die roll for the searches of the different groups. If you are trying to recontact a convoy that already has an escort, but you lost contact with it because it went into a storm, as per the rules up here, then you can do that up here, and it will tell you whether or not it's recontacted or not, but you're not going to be drawing another chit for that, obviously. This bottom part here is when the convoy itself, an escorted convoy, is moving into a hex with submarines and does a search of its own, So you've got a dangerous, say, 3 escort, and maybe the convoy is straggling and there are 12 submarines, and so we click execute escort search, and they're not spotted, so nothing going on there. Then after you've completed all your picket searches, marker removal, of course, you remove the sighted markers and remove the air groups that are escorting the convoys, and you're on to the U-boat operations phase. Nothing really here to do, just some reminders of the rules about moving your U-boats and arranging them into wolf packs. And we'll move here. And we're on to the combat phase. You've arranged your wolf packs to ambush various convoys, I'm sure. I would like to point that up top, we've got that same information, but you'll remember two of the submarines were sunk by aircraft, so that is being kept track of up there. Combat strength here. So we're going to attack a convoy, and let's say we have it's a serious attack. I've got a combat strength of 35, and there are 32 submarines. It's a combat strength of 2, say for the convoy escort. And just for fun, nope, yep, let's have it straggle. It's an S1 convoy, and so we attack the convoy, and the Wolfpack attacks and sinks 6 ships. Awesome, very useful. And the convoy has now been marked as um, straggling 2, S2. And again, that's all done automatically. In this case, you'll notice that there isn't a counterattack by the escorts because the escort is a 2 combat factor minus the S2. The straggle level means that it has a 0 attack, and so it can't attack. But let's try a different attack. Reset for next attack. And let's say we're going to try a strength of 28. Hey, maybe there's a storm in the submarine hex. There are, say, 25 U-boats, and the escort is 3. Let's try that. Okay, so the Wolfpack managed to sink 1 ship. There's no straggling as a result, and here comes the escorts after your Wolfpacks, and 24 of them are pinned, and you've got one group of 6 which is unaffected. And you'll just have to kind of figure that out from the stack starting at the top. The first 6 are pinned, the next 6 are unaffected, all the way down to whatever's not a total of 6 U-boats. Again, as per the rules. I'm expecting that you already know the rules as badly written as they were. Okay, so I don't know, let's try one more here. Oop. Remember to reset each time you're going to attack. Do a reset, one that's going to update. Whoops, did that work? There we go. It's going to update the information up here. So we've sunk 7 ships in exchange for 2 submarines. And it's going to clear out this information so that you can put in the necessary information, and there won't be any holdovers of anything odd there. So let's say I've got strength of 15. There's a storm in the convoy hex. I've got, say, 14 U-boats, and there's only a 1, and I attack. No effect, and the counterattack is no effect. Okay, so you get through all that. You lower the quality of the level of the stragglers, markers on all of your convoys, and you click next turn. And now we are on to the next turn, convoy initial placement phase. It's now February 2nd, turn 2. We've sunk 7 ships, 2 U-boats have been sunk. We're going to place our next convoy and click weather, and we get, again, new stuff. Ooh, look, it's foggy in area 1. And that's where I'm going to bring this to a stop here. I'm sure that it's more than enough for anybody, and I'm not sure if anyone is ever going to watch this, but if you're here watching this, thank you so much. I hope I haven't completely wasted 14 minutes of your life. Have a great day.